What up? It is Sunday. I came over to the studio because quite frankly I was getting stir crazy. And so I'm going to wrap some soap. I've been doing a big order. Some custom soaps for a client out in a town up the road from me. And yeah, I'm just gonna wrap them up. I use these, I don't know, 5x5, maybe 6x6 square cello bags. Just because it's really economical and super easy. And this is the boring part. I just stuff them in here. Today's the first day that it's like, hey Blue, that it's like warm out. I mean, it's been like nice in the 70s, but it's like mid 80s today, so my studio is a little warm. Thank you. So if you didn't see, I'm just wrapping some soaps that I did a couple weeks ago. This is just my normal recipe, which is coconut oil, palm oil, shea butter, and olive oil. And the fragrance is blackcurrant and absinthe from Candle Science. Which is local. Candle Science is a cool company. It is not my favorite fragrance, I have to admit, though. Something about those, like, sophisticated fragrances, they start to smell kind of chocolatey or, I don't know, like smoky, like tobacco-y or something, and I don't know, they're just, I like citrusy fragrances personally. That's, if you look at my website, like, anything that's not like an essential oil is like orange. Gotta get more bags. Oh yeah, free fragrances. My masculine fragrances, like, and when masculine, I guess there are two ways to go with that. Sort of like the, pardon the crinkling. There's the masculine fragrances that are like cologne-y, like cologne fragrances, and then there are like the masculine, like tobacco and pine tar and stuff, which those fragrances I just kind of consider like natural, like fragrances, and I'm partial to those than to the perfumey ones. But one fragrance that I can't stand, I do not like rose fragrance, like in almost any way. And I'll tell you what, rose soap is like my best seller, one of my best sellers. And it's just, you know, some people have this, they just love it, or they have this memory that they attach to it. I always think it's like, smells like grandma's bathroom or something, but rose is just one I don't like, personally. Or lily, anything that's really perfumey, lily of the valley. Oh my god, that would like knock me out. Okay, so I usually only do like one loaf of these at a time, because when I use my impulse sealer here, it puts off a little bit of like melted plastic fumes, and if I do like all 100 of them at once, it will give me a headache. So I'll move you over here so you can kind of see what I'm doing. So I just shake them down in the bag and I kind of get them in a corner. Take off the top. Take off the side. And then later, after I've wrapped them all, I'm going to shrink them. And I normally have like a fan blowing over this thing because it just blows the fumes away. It's not that bad, but it's just enough to give me like a headache. What are you up to today? Hey, 9th Street Bakery. How are y'all doing? I hope y'all are able to do some work. I am a one-man show. I do have friends that help occasionally. But I've got my own little studio here out in South Durham, Southwest Durham. It's almost Chapel Hill, almost. And it's just little me. Yeah, self-made man. I got 2 gigs. I've got my hair studio, which takes up half of my building, and that's the side that pays the bills, to be honest. And then my soaping studio is on the other side of the building, and that was just a hobby, and then it became a business, and then during the pandemic it has become my sole source of income. So I've really put the hammer down on getting to grow this business a little bit. And it's done all right. I was able to pay rent this month with just my soap. So that's a big deal. Ain't making any money, but keeping the doors open, that's good. Are you a soap maker or a hairdresser? I've got a mix of both on this Instagram. I used to teach hairdressing, so I have a lot of former students who follow me. Yeah, sales went up for Mother's Day for me too. April was a good month. Tell you what, if you don't have one of these impulse sealers and you do, if you wrap your soap in plastic, this is like the best, and they're cheap, they're only 15 bucks. It was like the best cheapo investment I ever made. It like cut down my soap wrapping by a butt ton. Oh, it's hot, I need a drink. Take off this thing too. Whew. But I am lucky because, you know, to have such a beautiful little studio all to myself that I can kind of run away to, you know. Even though currently it's 1,000,000 degrees in here. What kind of soaps do you make? I've been doing hair for 11 years now. I've owned the space for just over a year and a half now. And I've been doing soap, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, I guess, since, yeah, 5 years, 2 years. Well, before I owned this building, yeah, it was a big deal. Before I owned this building, I had taken over half of the kitchen. Like, I got one of those stainless steel work tables. Actually, I'm working on it right now. And I took over, like, the breakfast nook of the kitchen for, like, years. And eventually, that had to stop. But, we also just redid our kitchen this year, so it was like, Richard, my partner, used that as an excuse to, like, get me out. He's like, get out of the kitchen. And I had taken over this space, and I had an extra room, and I was able to make it work. You want to see the studio? I've been on a solid color kick lately. And hot process. I have been doing hot process, like, I don't know, like, crazy too. Hello, Pavo Palo. Pardon me if I'm mispronouncing that. Hey. So let me take you on like a little quickie tour of the place. I'll start with the outside. Alright, so here's my little studio space, the outside with my "We Are Closed" sign. And here's my lobby. Pardon the mess, nobody's been in here but me in over a month. And this is my retail area and where I keep some of my soaps. And there's a bunch of crap. And where I used to do hair. And dishes are currently being washed in my shampoo bowls. That's the kind of time we're in. And this is my nerd room. This is where my lounge, basically, my man cave. And here's my soap studio. It is a wreck right now, so my apologies. And that is all she wrote about that. Thank you. I love it too. Yes. But when we reopen, no, apparently we're not going to be allowed to do beverage service, but I mean, I make my own coffee and tea. Hello, Patrick Navarino. How are you? Blue, do you ever do, like, wholesale orders? Like, what's your business consist of, mostly? I'm about to launch new products, which I haven't done in like a year. So we'll see. I am actually about to launch a cuticle oil. I haven't ventured into like chapsticks or anything like that. I probably should. I guess it's more investment up front. Like, I don't know if right now it's the best time for me to be purchasing a whole bunch of like chapstick molds and stuff like that. Buying oil right now is killing me enough, so. And I had to buy a printer. I was making so many orders this past month, I needed to invest in a label printer, like a postage thingy. Just buying that made my heart skip. Do your bath bombs float? I make bath bombs too. I would love to invest in a press, but right now that's just not, that's a little luxurious. But I do love making bath bombs. They do well. I have a line of CBD bath bombs too that people seem to love. Oh, that's awesome. Feels good to get your first, like, corporate order. I don't know if it was your first, but... These soaps here are for a very similar thing. They're for an apartment complex, and they give them to their new, like their new renters. Yay, congratulations. I was doing CBD. Here's the thing about CBD bath bombs. They are fantastic, and if you can get a good supplier, that's fantastic. And my supplier was great until suddenly, I guess it was doing so well that they decided that they were going to make CBD, like their CBD oil, only available to members, and they created this like member club that was like $500 a year to join. So that effectively cut off my ability to get from that distributor. So I just have a little bit left. I'm going to try to hook up with a local CBD farm. But here's the thing, you cannot advertise on Facebook or Facebook media. I did not know this, and I started selling my CBD products, and Facebook straight banned me from advertising on all of my accounts for, you know, on all of their platforms, because they consider CBD an illegal drug. And I petitioned several times, but they will not allow me to advertise, and I've basically been banned from being able to advertise on Facebook. So keep that in mind. Even if you just want to advertise your soap, they won't let you. So don't mention CBD on your like business page on Facebook, because they will hit you with the ban hammer. What they told me is I had to scrub my business and personal page of all mention of CBD, and shit, I wasn't about to do that. It is, but Facebook's a privately owned company, so, you know, that doesn't really apply on their platform. Like, Facebook is not owned and run by our government, so that means that Zuckerberg gets to tell me what I can and cannot do on his website. Nope, they just said I could not advertise, and they like whenever I go to apply for an advertisement and they look through it, they just flat say no, I can't do it. No, there was no warning. They also did not let me appeal it. I don't know. I don't think YouTube does. Maybe, I don't know. I have no idea about TikTok. I am too old for TikTok, apparently. From what I can tell about TikTok, it's just a bunch of teenagers showing off their crotches. Which, by the way, when I was growing up, nobody was that confident. So good for them, but it ain't for me. Took me long enough to adapt to Snapchat, and I gave that up. That's hot. I don't really understand, like, the algorithms about, like, when to post to get most engagement and, like, search engine optimization and keywords and stuff. Like, there is a method to it. I don't know what it is. I just kind of get on and hope to God someone looks at it, you know. I did hire a guy when I first started out to handle my Instagram, and he handled it for a few months, and he pumped my followers up by, you know, I didn't have any followers really until he did it. You know, I haven't really excuse me, I haven't really grown my Instagram following much since him, but I think it's because I just don't know what the hell I'm doing, honestly. Move me over here. Oh, so weighs so much. Heat gun. Mine almost always tears wherever I have a logo embossing right here. It almost always will tear there. But that's just the way the cookie crumbles, I guess. Pardon the noise. I know it's annoying. Tear. I have not learned. 511 is the name of the apartment complex. 511 Fay, I guess it's a thing in real estate that you just name your apartment the address. So I think it's just the address of the apartment complex. They've been a great client. They own several apartment complexes in the area, and I've been lucky enough to be asked to make soaps for several of their buildings, so thank you. Do you ever do logos on your soaps? Like stamps? Oh yeah. I have this guy up in London, I think, or in England somewhere, that makes the stamps I use. He's made every one I've ever used. And he usually tells me, he's like, I think this will be, I think this needs to be changed because I think it's too thin. He did this with this logo. He thought some of the lines were too thin, so he thickened them up for me. He's done that on several of my logos, and all of them have worked very well. I'll show you. So here's the 511. Oh, it's backwards. 511. Still backwards. I guess am I reversed? Yes. Believe me when that says 511. There. Oh yeah, the stamp is reversed, so you could read it. Haha. But he thickened these pieces here because he thought they were too thin. And here's my old logo. This is no longer my logo, but I don't have my new stamp yet. He did this one too, and it works pretty well. My new logo, well, that's the new logo. The guy who designed it was amazing. I have shirts made with him on there, and I'm having some new shirts made. I'll be getting them next week that have my the Benny the Bull logo him on there, and it's been very popular. People love him, which makes me very happy because I think he's pretty cool too. Yeah, I splurged on this guy. The bull logo that I've been using up until now, the one that I just showed you, the bull head with the horns, I paid someone off Fiverr, the website, for it, and I didn't pay very much. It was like $60, but I come to find out after using it for a couple of years that it was just a clip art that she stole off the internet, and some basketball team in Ohio was using it also, like a high school team, and I was kind of pissed about it, obviously. So that's when I decided I was going to invest in my own logo that was 100% mine and that I would own. And I'm still trying to, I had to get new business cards made and new website design done. And so I figured might as well know I own it, right? Whew, it's hot up in here. Oh, I'm sweating. I don't think she was trying to take advantage of me. But I guess, you get what you pay for. Technically, it was public domain image, so whatever, but it certainly wasn't custom, and it wasn't mine, and so... Where are you? Did you say you were in Texas? Or am I making that up? Oh, Bert, you're like 30 minutes away! How long you been in Burlington? Lol, I know. I had to pay for shipping for my candle science order too. I'll tell you what though, they have a fella that works in their warehouse who is gorgeous. I love it when he's there handing me my packages. I just am probably really... I turn into a 12-year-old girl. I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm telling you, they're missing out on marketing opportunity by not putting him on all their social media. You know who I'm talking about. I do the, oh, bless my heart whenever I go by there. So if you have any questions about growing your business or anything, I am happy to help you. They should. Like, how do you handle your shipping? That's a big thing that I just recently got situated. In an economical sense. I had been losing money every time someone ordered from me online on shipping. Wholesale, it's easy. The thing with wholesale is you just have to be able to make a big enough batch that you can get your cost down to like $1 a bar, $2 a bar. So you need to buy, a lot and make a lot. That's really the secret to wholesale. I don't do wholesale because of that exact thing. Like, I don't have the, the slab molds. I don't have those. Like, you need to be making like 100 soaps a go. And I am not at that level. I don't really want to be doing wholesale. I'd like to do a lot more markets, but with me doing hair, that's not feasible. But markets are great income. I'll make $1,000 a day at a market, and that's quite lovely. Cold call, that works for me. Like, I drove around to breweries and said, hey, this is some soap that I made with beer from your bar. Like, I just made an 8-bar loaf, like a Crafter's Choice silicone mold of them. Didn't cost me nothing to do. And then I would go to the bar. They have tasting rooms. A lot of them will have a tasting room now. And just whoever's on duty, I'll be like, listen, I made this soap out of the beer that you're serving me. And I would love to be able to do that for your business. And then I've gotten several breweries hyped by doing that. Like, you already have an example of what you can do. Give it to the bartenders. They'll love it. I feel like beer people and like soap people are of the same cloth a lot of the time. So they respect what you're doing, I think. A lot of the time. So having enough inventory at the market is key, because if you run out of soap, you can't sell any soap. Yeah, I am too. But so one of the most profitable markets that I go to are not like farmers markets or craft markets. They are, so like companies will be like, oh, we're gonna have a fundraiser craft fair at our office, and everyone at their office is, knows it's happening and is bringing money, and they'll just be ready to spend. Do those sort of markets, and apartment complexes do like local maker fairs for residences and throw parties, and I've done markets like that, and those are just, people are just ready to give you money at those things, especially if it's near Christmas or something. I actually bring well over 100 soaps. So 100, 200 soaps, and then I have like $100 in cash for change. So make sure you have change. One thing I didn't think about when I went to my first market was have bags of some description to give people. Talk to people, don't just stand there. I'm actually not really a people person, but I've done a lot of public speaking, and I was a corporate educator for a few years, and I would have to talk in front of a large audience. I actually hate people, to be honest. Fake it till you make it. There's a lot of that. Fake it till you make it. I mean, I am not the soaping bigwig, but I've been able to get it to where it pays for itself, right? Which is better than most people. I actually went and I set up a table at the Raleigh Farmers Market for a couple weeks, and that was the worst experience of my life. I mean, not literally, but it was pretty awful. Not only was it really hot in the middle of the damn summer, but the other soap makers there were the rudest. Just the rudest. Whenever I do a big market like that, I like to bring sample soaps, and I go around to all the soap makers, and I buy one of theirs or offer to trade. And hey, how are you? My name is Brooks. Let's get to know each other. We're in this game together. And I'll tell you what, these people were the rudest. I had one lady come up to my booth and tell me, "You're never going to make any money making soap. Blah, blah, blah. I've been doing this for years." And I mean, just a total negative Nancy. And I'm like, lady, who are you? Like, why are you coming all the way over here from your pretty little booth to tell me how bad I'm going to be? Like, what? I just don't understand that. There are enough dirty bodies in this world for all of us. But occasionally you run into people that are really cool. Like, I don't remember her name, but I was up at a store and I ran into the woman who runs the soapery. And I think she was just nominated for, like, Best of the Triangle. And she was just the sweetest. And we talked for about an hour about soaping technique. And she was doing this, like, beer soap kick. And sort of, I was getting into the beer soap. So we were talking a lot about how do you do your beer soap and how do I do. She was great. And I would say most people are great, to be honest. But you will run into some real bitches. And the Raleigh market was one of the worst I've ever experienced. Now I would love to get set up at the Southwest Durham Farmers Market out on 55. It's real small. Everyone there looks really nice, but they are full, and they have like a 2-year wait for a space. So fingers crossed. I don't know that I will, but I would love to have a space there. Here's another thing. I would love to do a Renaissance fair. I mean, I'm nerdy in that way anyway. But the vendors at the Renaissance fairs always look like they're having fun, and whether or not I make any money, I think that would be fun to do. So these soaps ashed. Hi Erica, my name is Brooks. Good to meet you. So these ashed on top, you can see. This is my base recipe, which will ash if I soap at a high temperature. And I knew this was going to happen, so some of these soaps I put gold on top of the ash to make them look prettier, I guess. people love it. Like, it bothers me sometimes, the ashing, but like, this is when I soap at 100 degrees, no ash. It's like a drag queen, like, if you don't like it, cover it up with glitter. Yeah, see, I'd love to do that. I love that kind of stuff. So you force a gel. I used to do that. I do a 8% water discount, so pretty heavy water discount, which helps a lot with ashing. Yeah, but you're right. And most of my soaps, I used to care about gel. I don't care anymore. Yeah, it does make everything much brighter, though, for sure. So you say you like make swirly colored designs for the most part. Do you stick with like natural fragrances, or are you kind of less concerned with that and make synthetic stuff too? I am sweating. It's so hot. Yeah, I'm not, my clientele isn't really super granola. I will say that my lavender, for a long time my bestseller was charcoal mandarin. It's my favorite, and it was my bestseller for a long time. Since this pandemic has started, my peppermint tea tree and my lavender hot process have been impossible to keep in stock. They have been super in terms of selling. So I guess like those natural fragrances, people know what they smell like. Like, you know, I know I like lavender, so I'm gonna buy lavender. And like my Dragon's Blood fragrance, which is like patchouli, lavender, musk, vanilla, that's very popular too, and that's a, you know, real natural fragrance. I like those fragrances, that kind of earthy fragrances. I dig them. I just hate the way tea tree smells. Tea tree is not very pleasant. That's why you gotta mix it with peppermint. Eucalyptus is the same way. I am not a fan of eucalyptus like straight. I've gotta cut it with something. Otherwise it's too astringent, I think. It does a lot of people, and I think it's the patchouli. I think people can be sensitive to patchouli. I've got a coworker who cannot smell patchouli, so I can't keep, when I make my patchouli and oatmeal soap, I can't keep it here at the studio while it's curing because he'll get a horrible headache. I like it. It's sweet and earthy, but some people don't. It's one of those like real divisive fragrances. But I do think it's the patchouli that's in there that people really hate or love. It's sort of like my hate of rose. I can't stand rose, but some people it's their favorite fragrance. So, what you gonna do, right? What you gonna do? Alright, B, that's all done. Success. It's like, I don't know, 100 and something. 116. Alright, well that's all I wanted to do today. Shit, that's hot. Alright, thank you so much. Right? Your husband's a smart man. Thank you for spending a few minutes with me, and I hope to see you soon. But I'm going to finish this cheer wine and cool off. Thank you for watching. Bye!